you're given power to is destroying you and the world. And it attacks me because deep down, my rage and my resistance knows the opposition of who I am and who God is and who the mighty is. And its weak attempts today are bringing up people from the Mexican restaurant that are got Mayan things everywhere. Its resistance is having people out of nowhere try to kill me in my car, losing control of their cars, or blanking out behind the wheel. Its resistance is following me everywhere I go with the beast that is photographed, watching me. It makes my blood curdle just even when it's around. But to know that it can touch me in my home, knowing that its face is everywhere, it's not a power I've tapped into. It's a destroyer that's wanting to shock me and show me the things it can do. Like come out of my creek all covered in like a swamp mist or something and terrorize me. Even come in my home and look at me, and then later I'll go take a picture in the creek and there's its face. Or it will try to profess love with a different face. It's the devil, the horns, right outside my bedroom walls. I'll get up the next day and think that was kind of creepy. It didn't seem like it was just a dream. I come out, he's burnt the devil's face in my concrete. Those crop circles you see aren't just alien. They're the devil and demons. I'm putting pieces together man has never put together. And if they have, they've kept it hidden somewhere in some NASA or CIA file somewhere, top secret CIA Pentagon bullshit. But this is a new age, and this devil wants me to know all these things. And then God is protecting me from his attempts to murder me. And then my little girl, she was right here with me. She was in the middle. And it's like I was in heaven and hell. And so they couldn't stand it. They said write or die. And then sometimes John Saul would impersonate Stephen King. And other times it would say it was Stephen King. And I don't know if it was really him or John Saul. And he'd say write or die. Throat punch, one kick throat punch. And then a car started following me after he said he was going to kill me because I wasn't right, and it had a sticker with somebody getting karate, take KO, and said throat punch. I'm like, oh, Jesus. And then he said, I'm going to send this guy to attack you after nightfall. He has a barking dog. Every night, that person will come and do rituals after they murdered my dad and stuff, and they're doing rituals now to try to damn me. They say one of them is either an ex-detective or a retired person in law enforcement. So I called the police chief when they were making my dad get amnesia. And other people in the hospital were saying they were seeing somebody called Jack after dark and thought they were riding on Nazi trains in intensive care. And they were sharing this information with me. The ICU nurse, and she said, I can't take this anymore. I got patients after nightfall thinking they're on Nazi trains and talking to somebody named Jack. I said, Jack Canfield? Is it the vampire in this town I filmed that's supposed to be the Antichrist? What? All I know is this person said they loved to freak me out. And even as the name John Saul and Michael Sack together as a team. So we just love to get you out in crazy land, freak with your mind because you come up with great material. And then the Hollywood people that weren't John Saul, Michael Sack, they could have just been impersonating John Saul, Michael Sack. They would tell me that unless they would bring me near death and even break in before they said and kill me and resuscitate me when Bob's away at medical school for a year, they couldn't get convincing material. So part of the devil being fed was not just bringing me close to death, but actually doing it once and resuscitating me. They said they had to get me more in the spirit world so I could get more ideas and they could study me. And if you've been dead and they resuscitated you, they can. And they also said those near-death experiences blamed Sarah Dyer and Justin Bretz, who was 7th Division Special Forces with his brother Chris, that they had connections with people that had these weapons. And they'd say every night for 4 years when you peed blood and we tore your spine in 2 places and 2 summers you couldn't walk, it was Justin Bretz. And I did notice a pattern that it wasn't nearly as bad the times he was in Afghanistan, out of the country, but as soon as he'd get back, the torture would be 10 times as worse. And they said, blame him, blame them. Him and Alex Ezekiel, they put you on a kill list. They're getting power off your suffering, off your murder, off your torture. And they said, you can read what they're doing to you in John Saul's books. And I read, when that time I thought they might have killed me, I could hear the blood gushing with my ears through my veins. and I could feel the most awful terror and the blackness, and feel as if everything is shutting down little by little. My ears can hear. And whether they really convinced me of this or it happened, I don't know, but they're saying they want to do it again. And they want to tell me how a person dies and how they said I'm going to go into blackness like space and that we all go to black. I mean, horrible things they tell me that I don't believe are true. But to make it worse, after they killed my parents, they said they sent them here and now give your soul to the devil. And then they killed my dog. I wouldn't write for them anymore. I wouldn't. After they killed my father, I wouldn't dare write. I wouldn't dare write for free. Hell no. And then, so then they killed my little girl, and then I'd go past the rocks and they'd make her reach out and grab my hand with energy. And in the house, they would let her grab me and they'd say, she's terrified. She's crying every day for you. And then, you know what? To make it so bad, to hurt you the most, we put your mother's soul in her. And then they show me this Pan, this devil thing, you know, Pan, the cyberword networks after. They show him up above my house with her in the clouds. And then they show him, I took a picture, his throat, his hand on her throat, and say, be nice to us, give us what we want, keep writing, and give us your soul to the devil. They tell me this. And you can always see, and then I traced the guy's house out back behind it. He was wearing a Jurassic Park shirt. They said he's even affiliated with this group. He's an electrician. And he goes to school. Those times I felt like they were killing me with energy, they're trying to break down my soul, change the soul so that it can be in somehow the electricity, the power lines, the beast is in the energy. And we can use Windstream. We can make you an offering to this land, and you will bleed in the land to match the last Ghostbusters. They took part of my story, Age of Destruction and Satan We Trust, which is the opposite, because the money, as they says in God We Trust. I said you've stopped worshiping God in this country, and you're going to face His wrath. When you took the 10 Commandments out of school, things really went bad. And I said, that's why. And so they used the part where I had the devil come out of the mine shaft in a fire, and the Armageddon start. They put it in the Ghostbusters. It's copyright protected, but they will not let me go after them in court. That's when they try to kill me. Every time I've even tried to go after them over the last Ghostbusters, I'd be dead. I'm more blind. My back's been damaged more because I try to stand up for myself. But they have these armies. Otherwise, they could be exposed. It's copyright. It's all there. It's even on the computer. And they put those things in Ghostbusters. And the devil always tries to not just rob me, but turn around and kill a relative, a parent, and Aunt Betty, my cousin Eric, as a way of saying, you always beat me, Sherry. You always are several steps ahead of me, Sherry. He's always saying this. You're always outsmarting the devil. I'm like, I don't try to. God's in charge, and God works through me. It's not me. It's God. God's always smarter than you. And he wants to kill me because he thinks it's some kind of war with God. But I know God's real. He's protected me all these years, and he always makes a fool of Satan. Satan is still damned, and Satan still has fury, and Satan is still plotting, and Satan is still dancing. But it's God who excels and exceeds and has the power in heaven and the joy and the greatness. It's God that holds hereafter. And this thing has even talked to me as a foreign president and said, talk to me like I'm Van Helsing or something. I'm going to kill you, and I killed your other relatives, because they make some kind of game out of it, because you defeated Dracula. They say this stuff to me. So then Simon Martian says he wants to protect me from them. Next thing I know, I'm taking pictures, and all of these strange faces are appearing you've never seen. It's like someone is bringing the demons into the light through my photography and making the world see things that no one's ever had photographed, not even NASA. So they want to kill me for all these reasons, is that I'm advanced. I'm more superior than they are through my godly connection, not because I have a good mind, not because I'm gifted. Otherwise, I'm a good writer. But they want to kill me because the things and the knowledge I have are a supreme knowledge only from God alone. And he's working through me. And Jesus tells me, you're my apostle. Oh my God, he tells this to me. He told me this in childhood, but now he just puts the words right in my mouth. I'll just be going outside or something. All of a sudden, if I go to say something, I say, I'm Jesus' apostle. I'm like, the words just come out. It's real. I'm his apostle. Everything. It's like anything I visualized I ever wanted, I got. Even if it wasn't something I really knew that could have been wrong to want through fantasy, through writing. I should have never wrote those stories. I should have never gotten in the fantasy world. I should have never tried to escape reality through my inquisitive mind, thinking I could go into other dimensions to get great ideas. I should have never tried to go up in other places in my mind without realizing I was astral traveling to get ideas. I realized God has let me see now that evil, and I am putting it out there to let you know this fantasy, all this stuff is evil. They've finally been showing what Hugh Hefner did. He let sick men rape women, kill them, and drug them, according to this new documentary they have out. Well, I suspected that. It was all about this group that's running things, and it was all about sacrifice. But here I am being murdered. They're threatening other family members because they cannot make me completely crumble. They cannot make me bow, because this force in me through God is just too supreme and superior. I have an inquisitive mind. I know things. That's why they stalk me. I know things the devil will never know. It's sad, but I should have never shared information. Things I say come true. Story after story after story became the future. And at the time, they knew that I had a gift stronger than Nostradamus, that what I wrote would become reality. They knew. And they even said sometime, you're the one that's name must not be said, me. So they're so beneath God. They're so beneath the real power, but they're embracing what they can get, which is the damned creature, which is the monster. They're embracing the monster, but the only power is really God, in a place higher than this place they'll never reach. So that's what pisses them off. It's why they're humans and they have to live here. They get money, wealth, power through degradation and sin, but they don't get heaven.